freaking view. Edit that out.
When the E60 was first introduced, I didn't like it. Not only was it a full 180 from the previous model, with its arrival meant the departure of the E39 and the E39 M5. However, after giving the E60 a chance, it has an argument to make for itself. One that should be heard with all ears. That, my friends, is the sound of a 5-liter V10 producing 507 angry German horses, each and every one of which is guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Right up until something goes wrong. And that's one of the biggest concerns people have when buying these cars. They may have become more affordable, but they still have the maintenance costs of a $100,000 supercar. However, now that they're about 15 years old, they're not such a mystery anymore. People have figured them out. There are people that work specifically on M cars, and not just to make a living, but because they love them. For example, M-Power Motorsports provided the throttle body actuators for this very car. Go check them out at mpowermotorsports.org for all your M car needs. When I got this thing, I knew that there are certain maintenance requirements that are quite costly. However, if you get out there and you look, you'll find there are reputable sources from which you can obtain the parts and get the vehicle serviced without it costing you an arm and a leg. As time goes by with ownership and as I get things done to the car, I'll make sure to keep everybody posted. Now, I'm not saying it's going to have maintenance costs the same as, let's say an LS or, something of that sort. But it doesn't have to be a $10,000 bill every time you need to get the car repaired anymore. And people need to know that, because people are missing out on a lot of fun with these cars. Contrary to what everyone else says, I say go buy one. If this is the car you want, don't let the horror stories hold you back, because they're overhyped. Get one that's well sorted, that's been taken care of, pay a little bit more up front, and get one in a manual if you can. They're hard to find, they didn't make many, but if you find one in a manual, buy it. Even if it's significantly more expensive, for two reasons. One, you don't have to worry about the SMG going bad on you, which it will. And two, it's a lot more fun. talk about owner's anxiety and the worry of having to fix things. But you see, you don't go get an exotic pet because everyone else has one and they're easy to take care of. Okay, you go and you get a tiger, you get a lion, you get a leopard, and you're automatically the cool kid on the block. And as long as you feed it and take care of it, it won't kill you. Same is the case with this car. Take care of it, maintain it, keep up with it, and it'll give you all the good times you could ask for. Neglected, however, it'll take your head off. Soundtrack, oh man, just the sound of a V10. I love the sound of a V8, that rumble, but there's just something different. It's a whole different feeling when it's 10 cylinders. Oh man, the acoustics.
Another thing that I've noticed is that this car has aged well, surprisingly, because initially when it was introduced, it just didn't look right. It was ugly, it was just so different. But now with everything else out there that looks worse, it actually looks somewhat handsome and aggressive, possibly even sinister. Either way you put it, it's definitely aged well. Not on the interior though. On the interior almost everything is outdated. But overall, it's a good looking car.
Let's do an M launch, how about that? Easy though. Shit's just flying around in here. Something's rattling in here, and I can't figure out what. Let's hear it in M mode one more time. Ooh, bouncy. Thing gets really, woo, yeah. The car keeps giving me a hug every time I go around a corner because of these M bolsters. Where are you gonna find a car that does that, huh? Where are you gonna find a car that'll actually give you a hug? Oh, red light. Calm down. Okay. You can let go now. Thank you. When you put the car in M mode, it's a completely different animal. You can feel it right away. The suspension gets stiffer. The throttle response gets sharper. And the car hugs you. When you go into a corner, the bolsters inflate and it hugs you. Well, I mean, it's one thing to love a car, but it's another when the car loves you back. One person put it in one of their videos, said, is it worth the anxiety? Well, you tell me. I just got hugged again. You tell me, is it worth it? The entire time I've been in this car, I've been smiling like a 5-year-old and giggling. You tell me, does that make it worth it? Would I daily drive this car? No. Would I take it to shows, drive it on the weekend, and take it for a cruise like I'm doing today? Oh, absolutely. Oh, if I get pulled over, it's gonna hurt. Oh, oh, oh. There's something else you should know if you want to live with a car like this. If you drive it nicely, which I did on the way back from Chicago, it'll get 18 and a half, 19 miles to the gallon. I know, you're thinking that's not the greatest. Well, remember, it's a high-performance sedan and it's got 10 cylinders. However, if you put your foot into it often, you can see single digits easy. But then again, it's about miles per gallon, not miles per gallon, right? If you listen, you can hear the droning of the exhaust. That's because 2 owners ago they took out the resonators, and then the previous owner took out the mufflers. I can understand the muffler delete, as that's one of the most common things that people do because it's simple and it gives it a little bit of more muscular sound, because these things in stock form are really quiet for a V10, and of course you're choking power. But the resonators? What was he thinking? It droned so loud. Driving this thing home about 300 miles and my ears were ringing when I got home. If you're gonna do it right. Muffler delete, okay. If you're going to put a custom exhaust, great, but don't do without resonators. Dear God. So that's definitely one of the few projects that we're going to be doing to this car. Exhaust, tune, headlights, get some Euro specs on there, and you know, maybe a couple of other things. Let's see if that gets rid of the rattle. Yeah, that was it. I just needed to open and close the sunroof and let it seal correctly. Wow. You live and you learn.
So here's the deal. If you just want a fast 4-door car, there are others out there, some even faster. Will they look as good, sound as good, or make you feel as good? That's totally subjective. If this is the car you want, then buy it knowing what you're getting into. Just like owning an exotic pet, you know it can be costly, but you still love the thrill of it all. If that's not your thing, then just get a goldfish. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.